Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I've got a few updates on Lucid Motors and their future plans. And the CEO of Lucid Motors may have just accidentally confirmed the merger with CCIV. Nio have also just made a big investment and released some new information on their ET7 Sedan. Firstly, let's start by talking about the future plans of Lucid Motors, because Peter Rawlinson, the CEO, has some really interesting ideas. By 2025, Peter wants to be selling hundreds of thousands of mid-$40,000 electric vehicles. Now this is a big change from the path they're currently on. Lucid Motors currently designs luxury vehicles, priced even higher than Tesla's. But it seems that Lucid also want to diversify into the cheaper vehicles market as well. It seems that as Lucid start to build more and more vehicles and generate that economies of scale, they'll be able to build their vehicles and generate a profit at a $40,000 price point, while making the vehicle more accessible for everyone. But I think that Lucid need to be careful not to lose their edge, as they currently have something that makes them unique. They're not trying to build the fastest electric vehicles, like Rimac. They're not trying to build cheaper electric vehicles for the masses, like Tesla. They build luxurious, prestige vehicles. I don't think that Lucid should try and copy Tesla or compete directly with them, because Tesla have more substantial investment, they have their operating experience, and frankly they have a genius that runs the business who also just so happens to be the richest person in the whole world. Tesla has the ability to attract the top talent and the most intelligent people, because they have a wider reaching HR team and they can afford to pay a more handsome salary. So I don't think that Lucid should try and compete directly with Tesla, as it's a bit of a losing battle. I think they should maintain their edge and stay in their own lane. Now something else that I thought was really interesting is that Peter wants to help big automakers sell $25,000 mass market EVs. And I presume by big automakers he means the likes of Volkswagen, BMW Group, Ford and the wider Mercedes-Benz Daimler Group. I think that this could be a really good income stream for Lucid Motors. I guess Lucid will supply something like the autonomous technology or the batteries, and the car maker will build their car around the shell that Lucid provide. I think that even though this is likely to be low margin work for Lucid Motors, that it could be really beneficial, as they'd be generating large amounts of revenues from shipping vast numbers of units, building that relationship with those bigger manufacturers and achieving that economies of scale so they can get their products for their vehicles at a much cheaper price. If you're enjoying the video so far, then be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking that red button down below to benefit from in-depth analysis on new up-and-coming stocks, regular news updates on fast-moving stocks, and expose-style videos to help save you time and grow your stock portfolio. Also, be sure to check out the link down below to my Patreon to become part of the team and discuss stocks before they start blowing up, like CCIV and BNGO. You also get access to my stock portfolio, which is updated daily, weekly live streams, one-to-one access and more. But for now, let's get back to the video. Now let's talk about how Peter Rawlinson, the CEO of Lucid Motors, may have just accidentally confirmed the merger with CCIV. So, Peter Rawlinson went on CNBC a few days ago and gave an interview. He was queried by the news reporter about the possible merger with CCIV, who said that everyone wants to know. Peter then stumbled over his words quite a bit and just about managed to say that he can't confirm it nor deny it, and that he can't really comment on it.
Is that the case? Well, you know I can't comment on any such matters. I can neither confirm nor deny any such thing.
Now this on its own doesn't really sound like much. I guess it's good that he didn't outright deny it, but it isn't really a confirmation either. But what I do want you to focus on is his body language. Now I'm not a professional speaker or someone that can professionally read body language, I'm just some guy that makes videos and puts them on the internet. You can see that when he gets asked about CCIV, he's got a massive grin on his face. He seemed disarmed by the situation and also befriended. He knows that talks are ongoing with CCIV and he seems happy and unstressed about the whole situation. If I personally had what could be a multi-billion-dollar deal breaking down around me, I would be very stressed. But if the deal was done and it was a great result for me, I would be very happy. Maybe it's a sign that the deal with CCIV is done and they're just about to announce the merger. Or maybe Peter just finds the whole situation and how much media attention it's getting pretty funny. I guess we'll find out soon. I've put the link to the interview down below so you can watch Peter's reaction and judge it for yourself. But for now, let's talk about Nio. And the first thing I want to tell you is that Nio have just released some new information on their ET7, which I think is super competitive and super bullish. The ET7 with a 75 kWh battery is priced at around $50,700, and that's their starter model. They then have a version with a 100 kWh battery, and finally the version with the 150 kWh battery priced at around $59,000. Now, that's only about an $8,500 difference between their cheapest model and their most expensive model. Now this is a world apart from Tesla. Their standard range Model 3 is priced at around $30,000. They then have the long range priced at around $39,000 and the performance priced at around $47,000. So you can see that it's about a $17,000 difference between their cheapest model and their most expensive. This makes it so achievable for someone to upgrade from the base model ET7 all the way to the top of the range 150 kWh battery ET7. I think it's really impressive that Nio have managed to upgrade the vehicle so significantly between tiers for such a small price increase. I guess this is a result of their BaaS, their battery as a service option, where customers can maybe pay a little bit more on a monthly basis for the larger battery pack, but with little overall change in cost of the underlying vehicle. While the ET7 is priced at a premium compared to the Tesla Model 3, the specs of the ET7 really do blow the Model 3 out of the water, and the ET7 can even cover more miles than the new Tesla Model S played. If you want to pick up some shares in CCIV or Nio, then be sure to sign up to free trade using my link down below in the description to get a free share worth up to £200 when you invest a minimum of £1. Yep, that's right, you only have to invest £1 and you will get a free share worth up to £200. Also, be sure to check out the Patreon, link down below in the description as well, to get alerted on stocks like these before I make a video. Something else that I think is really important to talk about is Nio's recent buyback of around $850 million worth of the Chinese government's investment. Back in April of 2020, the Chinese government invested about $1 billion in Nio in return for a 24.1% stake. Since that initial investment, Nio raised about $1.5 billion worth of cash to buy back around 10.5% of the Chinese government's investment. Now, Nio are buying back an additional 3.5%, meaning that the Chinese government only hold about 10% of Nio, meaning that Nio has much more autonomy and freedom to make their own decisions when progressing for the future. Because the Chinese government are now no longer considered a major shareholder, Nio don't exactly have to get the government's permission before they sign a large agreement or make a decision that would impact their future. This means that Nio is now more free to expand overseas, although I do think they need to continue buying back the remaining 10% to gain complete autonomy over their decisions. I think it's really interesting that the Chinese government have profited massively from this, considering they invested about $1 billion for a 25% stake in the company. They've since received about $1.55 billion for 15% of that, meaning that they're probably going to get around another $1 billion for the remaining 10%, meaning that the Chinese government have made about $2.5 billion in total from that $1 billion investment. Nio were obviously quite desperate at the time and had to take the investment. Nio have now since turned it around and are really building a great business. Their deliveries and their profit margins are improving every single quarter, if not every single month, and I don't think it will be long until Nio are profit generative. And as always guys, if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out some of my others. Alternatively, subscribe to the channel and ding the notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers!